Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Detroit Tigers, of course, turned Austin Prospects. And we're here, of course, at the first day of the playoffs. We are going to be taking on the Astros in the National League Division Series. Not National League, American League, I don't know what I'm saying. Our division opponent, the Twins, actually made the playoffs in the wild card. They ended up losing that game to the Rangers. And they're going to be taking on the Rays. Now, us, the Prospects, we're going to be taking on the Astros, and this is a team that we have faced in the playoffs before. I don't exactly believe what year it was. Let's actually go ahead and see that, because it was definitely the last time we made the playoffs, and that hasn't been since 2025, and we definitely played them that season, I believe. Okay, that's just our stats. Can we see? Okay, well, I guess we can't see kind of the who we faced and stuff that year, but I definitely know we did face them that season. And so the Astros, what's their record? I do not remember. It was 98 and 64, so pretty much on par with us. Now, of course, like we always do, we're going to go ahead and preview the team we're facing before the series. And this Astros team is actually, I would say at least, much weaker than the team we faced about 3 years ago. Kind of look at the lineup here. A lot of the same guys. Figueroa, he's now in kind of a starting shortstop spot instead of backup infield role, but this they'll have Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Colin Barber, who are all, very good players, especially Barber and Bregman, just kind of top of the league kind of guys. Barber, great young center fielder who just can do everything. This guy has to be the best player in the league. I can't imagine that anybody else would be. But then kind of when you get into the bottom of the lineup, it's just not as good. They've got Correa DHing, but he did not have a good year at the plate, especially compared to his last season. They have Jose Nino, who's a below league average hitting first baseman. Pretty good in the field, but again, below average offensively. Brendan Rodgers, who had, a pretty decent season at the plate at second base for them. So he's, a decent guy here at the bottom. Then they have Jose De La Cruz, who barely even played at all during the regular season. And then Carson Kelly, who's pretty good behind the plate. But definitely a little weakness here. Definitely not as strong after they lost Yordan Alvarez. They lost him in free agency to the Braves, I believe. So yeah, this is definitely a weaker lineup without him in it. And then pitching-wise, I think we actually match up with them pretty well. Pitching-wise, we have Soroka. Well, they have Soroka. And then they have Aaron Nola, who actually had a pretty bad season. And then Mitchell White and Lynch McCullers now, I think Gore matches up with Soroka as kind of a top-of-the-line ace. I think Rocker is better than Nola. And then Wentz, Flores, Loizaga, I think all these guys match up pretty well against the bottom and rotation pieces. Then the bullpen, I think we have a better bullpen than them, actually. They have Yamasaki and Nelson kind of at the back of it. And Montoya and Jimenez, especially Jimenez, are way better than those guys as it is. And it might be slightly deeper because they have Peralta, but actually no, with Vasquez, we definitely have a better bullpen than them. And then so I definitely think this is a beatable team. And then we're going to go ahead and look at kind of how we're shaking on the playoff roster. Really no changes at all. Cesar Sanchez, oh no, he is there. I knew he was actually hurt a little bit towards the end of the season. I think I might have mentioned that. So Rutten was starting, but it looks like the computer actually wants to go with him still, and I'm fine with that. They're both really comparable. Have really very comparable seasons. And other than that, everything's pretty much the same. Pitching-wise is where it kind of really is interesting to me. And designating Wentz as the kind of fourth starter, which I'm fine with. Him and Flores, I feel like, are pretty interchangeable. They profile pretty similar. Wentz, 4.2 FIP, Flores, yeah, they're pretty similar. Honestly, a lot of our starters are pretty similar this year, so I'm fine with the four guys that's designating now. So now this is where the episode is going to kind of differ from where the playoff episodes have in the past. In the past, of course, I've live played kind of the gameplay in the episodes, showed me managing the team, going through the playoff games, and I've really enjoyed doing that. But unfortunately, if you have watched those episodes, you know that my computer just really can't handle, going through and playing those games. And you know, as fun as it is to do, it really kind of defeats the purpose of doing it because, you know, the computer and the video can't keep up with kind of the game thing. So for a lot of the time, it's just kind of one screen with me narrating the game with the screen not changing. So I'm going to go ahead and do this playoffs, kind of just simming one game at a time, then going over the box score after each one, kind of recapping what happened and stuff. If you would rather still me do the kind of live gameplay, definitely just let me know in the comments if you'd rather see me do that. And I could, you know, go ahead and change back to that for the next playoff run in the series. But for now, I'm just going to try this out to see how it goes, see if people enjoy better. Because, you know, those videos do end up being pretty long and have to be kind of individualized for each series because, you know, me managing the games does take a while. So I don't want the videos to be too long, like doing the entire playoffs. If, you know, we made it to the World Series, it'd be like 2 hours or something. So again, we're going to go ahead and kind of do it this way. So let's get started with simming through the first game, which is going to be Soroka versus Mackenzie Gore. So we actually take game 1, then 3-0. Looks like Gore had a great pitching performance, and he did. He went 7 1/3, 9 Ks, and then Montoya actually came in for the multi-inning performance. He does have the stamina to go kind of multiple innings. Only a 2-pitch mix, but still shut down 3 strikeouts through those innings. Soroka actually pitched quite a gem himself. He went 8 innings. And then Ryan Nelson came in and pitched a scoreless inning in relief. Now let's see how we kind of got on these. And we actually got the runs 3 separate times. And it looks like in the second and third, these came on solo home runs from Bogaerts and Happ. So guys kind of still important to contributing to our lineup, especially, you know, Bogaerts in there at DH. So that's pretty cool seeing those guys kind of contribute in that way. And then who got... I actually don't see... Wow, a lot of strikeouts here, especially for Walker and Basabe. How did we get the third run? I do not see. But I don't think, you know, it matters too much. These were the 2 kind of events that really, you know, helped our win probability. So 9 hits to 2. So yeah, Gore really shut down Soroka. You know, he did go that distance. We did hit on him a little bit. Looks like we didn't really string them together since our runs mostly came on solo home runs, at least the runs that we know of. So yeah, that's game 1. So we're gonna go ahead and sim game 2 then. And game 2 is actually kind of a reverse of fortunes. Really kind of the opposite game. They scored their runs kind of late though. So they had 9 hits this time. We were limited to 3. And looks like Correa hit into a double play. Bogaerts hit a double. But most of the runs came on a solo shot and a 2-run shot, both from Carson Kelly. So Kelly really destroyed us from the bottom of the lineup this time. And yeah, it looks like really the top of the lineup honestly hasn't done much. Colin Barber doesn't even have a hit yet in the series. So there's definitely the bottom lineup on there of their team not really doing a lot for them. It looks like Rocker, not a very good pitching performance. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Then Bustelos, he wasn't very good for us. And neither really was Severino, who I don't know why he pitched 2 innings in relief, but he did. Nola pitched he was good enough. And then Nelson and Yamasaki both pitched for them. So hopefully we can take game 3 after a day off. And looking at this game, you'd think deja vu because we lose 4-0 again. Some more hits, so maybe string some more stuff together. But Brendan Rodgers, he hit a solo homer, and Nino had a run-scoring double for them. And look over here, yeah, so Rodgers was good for them. Again, it's just the bottom of that lineup is just scoring all of the runs. It's this different guy. You know, last game it was Kelly, now it's Nino and Rodgers. Yeah, that's tough to say. See, wow, Loizaga really did not pitch well. Looks like, or actually, I don't know, did he get hurt? No, he didn't get hurt. Yeah, that's kind of weird that he only went 3 1/3. His stamina rating isn't the best, but I'm still surprised that he only went that long. And Mitchell White, he went 8 innings, so their starters have definitely been eating a ton of innings for them. And we've been struggling. So now the Astros are up at 2-1 and our backs are against the wall. Hopefully we can go ahead and take this next game because we will definitely need it to survive in the playoffs. And we do take game 4 to tie the series up. We went 4-2, which is very, very good. Now it looks like, the kind of place where we took the lead was the 7th inning, where Anthony Siegler, our defense first catcher, actually hit a 2-run homer versus Lance McCullers Jr. And he actually had a run scoring single in the bottom of the 5th too. So he had 3 RBIs. So he drove in 3 of the 4 runs, and Mondesi drove in the 4th run. So the bottom of the lineup for us really doing it, and the top of our lineup also has not really done anything. So it's kind of interesting this series, seeing really the bottom of the lineup for each team. Usually the guys who these teams really don't rely on for run production really doing a lot. So kind of weird to see that kind of reverse of fortunes. McCullers, he was pretty good through the first couple innings. Then he got to the 5th inning. Looks like that 3rd, 4th time around the lineup, and he really started to struggle then. And then Peralta, he mopped up for them. Wentz wasn't particularly good, walked a lot of guys, but the bullpen came down and was shut down, pitched, I don't even know, 5 innings of no run ball, and really 3 hit balls. So very, very good out of the bullpen this game. So heading into Game 5, things look pretty knotted up, and Mackenzie Gore should be on the mound for us. And we take Game 5 at Houston on the road, 5-2. It looks like the offense really poured out 12 hits in this game to only 4 for the Astros, and a lot of runs here. Mondesi had a 2-run homer, Happ had a 2-run homer in the 9th, and that really, we had a 3-2 lead at that point. Then the top of the 9th, Ian Happ hit the home run on top of the 9th. Then he put the game on ice, gave us a 3-run lead. Basabe hit a run-scoring single. Looks like the lineup, kind of top to bottom, really did well for us today. Paulini and Walker really struggled this series, which is not good. But the bottom of the lineup, Bogarts, Mondesi, Siegler, really doing a lot for us. And really the same story with them. Rogers, Figueroa, Kelly doing a lot for them. Mackenzie Gore was pretty good. Only went 5 1/3, but our bullpen was able to give us shutdown innings. Kumar Rocker, he actually came out of the bullpen, and we used him for 1.2 innings, and he came out and pitched some scoreless ball. Montoya and Jimenez then mopped up for us, so using kind of the best righties we have to kind of mop up this game. I definitely like that the computer went ahead and did that, although we may need a different Game 1 start. As you can see, we play Tampa Bay in like 2 days, so definitely going to be a quick turnaround on that. So as I mentioned, we're going to be taking on the Rays, who beat the Rangers 3-1 in their series. So the Rays were the best team in baseball record-wise, winning 107 games. So let's go ahead and take a look kind of at their team, previewing it. Now, kind of let's look at their injuries, and they actually have quite a bit to their pitching staff. All of these guys are pretty good. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it looks like basically the entire starting rotation there is out. So let's take a look at the guys they're throwing out there. Oh yeah, and their rotation does not look very good at all. There we definitely have a leg up in the kind of pitching rotation kind of thing. It looks like they're basically missing most of their starting pitching based on the injuries, and probably a lot of their depth, like Taj Bradley. Paul Campbell looks more like depth, and then DaCosta, Honeywell, McKay, and Urquidy and Whittle. All those guys look like they're top 5 pretty much, and then some of their top depth pieces also out, and all of these guys will not be coming back. Possibly Campbell, if the series goes all the way to the end, he could possibly make a start, but this definitely looks good for us. That a lot of their pitching is down, and then their bullpen looks pretty okay. Kind of maybe top heavy there a little bit, and then a lot of guys who haven't had much experience this season. And I actually forgot to mention the Astros thing, that they actually have Mookie Betts, and they were missing 2 of their starting outfielders, and also a pitcher, I believe. So they were a bit down in injuries too, definitely not as much. And the Astros bottom lineup ended up kind of carrying them anyway. Offensively, but the Rays really look banged up. So now we're going to go ahead and look through their lineup. Bruhan, he is a pretty good second baseman for them. He's leading off. They have Willie Almazan, good in AAA for them. Not really any major league experience. I don't know why he's kind of starting now. Looks like Cassius is the main one who started at first base for them, and wow, he was awful. So no wonder why they're going with him at first base now. Franco, he's, probably the other best player in the league with Barber in the American League. He's very good, and then they have this third baseman who's also crazy. Their offense looks very good. No wonder why they're here. They have Austin Meadows, who of course is still doing it in this game. Probably better than he even is in real life. Isaac Pacheco, kind of a light hitting, mostly defensive shortstop. He's going to be, it looks like he's forced to DH for them. Now at this point this season, Josh Lowe, he's a good center fielder, not defensively, which is something I'm definitely to keep an eye on, that he's not good defensively. And then Ronaldo Hernandez, pretty good defensive catcher who can also hit a little bit. And then they have Terso Ornelas kind of rounding things out as a corner guy who's just kind of meh. So we definitely have the upper hand here pitching wise. You can see they do have the best offense, at least in the American League. I'm not sure if that's for the league. And they also run the bases very well. Their pitching was very good in the regular season, but of course, just looking now, a lot of that pitching is hurt. So, they're going to have to rely on a lot of guys who they, of course, would rather not rely on. Of course, also maybe something of note kind of here, the American League East was not very good. I don't know, if they were just that good, but the American League East as a whole, not very good. So, actually, I want to kind of, let's check up on their expected win-loss and see if it's below what they are. It is 2 games below, so they're right around where they should be at least. So not really anything really crazy there, but without further ado, let's go ahead and sim some games. Loizaga is going to be pitching against JJ Goss in game 1. And we actually win game 1 7-6, and we last scored, we really scored pretty much all of our runs in the 6th and 7th after a 3 spot in the 2nd. Siegler hit a 3-run homer in the 2nd, so he really did a lot for us there. Josh Lowe hit a solo homer for the Rays. Siegler run scoring single, so 3 RBI, 4 RBI for Siegler on the day. Again, the bottom of our lineup really carrying this offense. Paulini and Walker have nowhere to be found in the playoffs at all. And then for them, the meat of their order is really doing the work for them. Franco, Rodriguez, guys who you'd expect, and then Josh Lowe, of course, contributing with that homer a little bit there. Loizaga, not bad, 4.2 innings for us today. But our bullpen, after Robson, who has been kind of a disaster, his ratings are sky high, but he really hasn't been good for us. But then our boys, Vasquez, Montoya, Jimenez, shut down ball after that. Gosh struggled, especially, got to that 5th inning, allowed some runs, was pitching well before that, and then their bullpen came in and also was pretty shut down besides Wendelken and Thorpe, who each allowed a run, but that ended up being the difference. So let's head into game 2. And we win game 2, but as you can see, Andrew Vasquez, he's going to be down for 3 days. Moderate effect, so he's, we're probably just not going to utilize him. At least I hope the computer doesn't utilize him in the next few days. We're going to have an off day after this game, after our 2nd win at Tampa. But in the bottom of the 9th, Pacheco would kind of maybe get things started with a sacrifice fly to get the only run of the game for them, but we ended up, looks like, really didn't do much. No home runs, I don't think. Freeman hit a run-scoring single in the 5th, which was one of our 3 runs. So yeah, Freeman, Walker, he actually got a hit, his 2nd of the series, it looks like. And our lineup actually was shaken up a little bit. Looks like they moved Bogarts up, which is good. He definitely has been performing well. Siegler still in that 9-hole and still driving in a run. He's been key. Driven in the most runs, so, clutch, really not a thing in baseball, but he has been very good for us in those moments. At least, clutch being not a thing is, players don't definitively have a clutch skill, but in this series, he has indeed, come up big in those big situations, although, you'd much rather have your best hitters in those situations, but I'm not going to divulge into that kind of too much. Wentz, very good for us today. 7 innings strong. I'm actually used Vasquez for 1/3 of an inning. He walked, in those 3 batters he faced, he struck out a guy, walked a guy, allowed a hit. Then we went to Bustelos, and he came on and got the save. Jimenez, he pitched first in this, so I'm just going to guess that he came in a high leverage situation. And it looks like their starter, McClanahan, he can start. But he's mostly a reliever, but can start. It looks like, he started. And then Linares, he also pitched for the 3rd, so it looks like they used the opener there on McClanahan. But, the pitching depth, pretty good. I mean, not good, what am I saying? These are kind of the guys in the bullpen. Cool guy in the bullpen is hurt, so they're going to be down an arm at least for the next few days. While his kind of diagnosis shakes out, although he's not, one of the prime guys in the bullpen, I'm sure they could replace him rather easily. But Linares, he was not very good in his 4 1/3, so we're going to move on to the off day and then sim the next game. So in the first home game that we play, quite frankly, we got blown out. And some guys in our kind of meat of the order got some hits, Happ, Paulini, Walker. Good to see them kind of come around a bit. But Mackenzie Gore was bad in this performance. He was not good. And then Flores came in to relieve him, and he was also bad. And pretty much everyone, I guess we used kind of once Gore and Flores went in, we kind of just went with the back of our bullpen. Severino, Robson, guys who we wouldn't turn to in a close game. Got some innings and they weren't good, so that just made the game more of a blowout. And then Joe Ryan with a decent start just ate some innings for them. Wasn't particularly good, but got the job done. Looks like he probably do some weak contact, maybe got a little lucky. And then they used kind of their run-of-the-mill relievers after that. So we're going to move on to the next game. And we also dropped that game, so the series drops to 2-2. No one has won a home game. And in this series, we won 1-4, which was much closer. They got the runs in the 7th and 8th. I'm still, again, middle of our lineup, picking up some hits, but nothing really doing, as we weren't apparently able to string them together. Rocker pitched very well, very good 6 innings from him. Vasquez, his injury isn't affecting him anymore, but he wasn't very good in that performance. Bustelo allowed a run. Then Jimenez came in and he was shut down after they allowed some runs. Probably wish that Jimenez was used first there. Wendelken, Thorpe, and Zamudio, or however you say that. And the bullpen was pretty shut down for them today. And then Marvel actually had a good game for them. He is kind of banged up though, so it's going to be interesting to see if he needs to make another turn in the rotation. I can't tell if it simmed another day. If that was the same score. No, it didn't sim another day. So we're going to go ahead. And also Yusel Basabe, he's down for like 3 days, moderate effect. But he's going to stay in the lineup. And, looks like Lloyd Zega, he's down. And he's expected to miss 6 days. So we win this game today, and I assume he started it since he got injured. And how much longer is he under? Yeah, we signed him for quite a while. Not a lot of money. But, yeah, that contract doesn't look that great, but we're also not paying him a lot. So maybe we could move him after the season if we need to or something, because his ratings have declined. But getting into the kind of game here, someone finally wins a home game in this series. And the Rays, looks like they got a run back in the 9th to make it 3-5. But a big 3 spot in the 5th inning for us. Kind of looked to lead the way. That inning included a 2-run homer from Paulini. Rutten added a solo homer in the 2nd. And they had a solo run in the 7th, so they kind of chopped away with some solo homers. Paulini, very good in this game for us. We needed him to hit that 2-run homer. Rutten actually performed well in this game as well. So kind of middle of our lineup, they're doing some stuff. I don't know why it's batting him 5th. I guess they pitched the righty, so maybe these guys and Basabe, with him being hurt a little bit, it's just, dropped him down because it's affecting his ratings a little bit. I guess. It looks like Siegler's also cooled off a little bit, or just to be expected. Yeah, Loizega only went 2/3 of an inning, but we were able to eke out this game Anyway, Ronnie Garcia, of course, he's been fantastic for us in the past few seasons, and this season was no different. And doing him, he did it in the playoffs with two and 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Robson, he got an inning and wasn't damaged too hard. And then Flores, he got a 2 innings. Vasquez got a third of an inning. Then Montoya came in and he pitched 2 shutdown innings for us. Actually, not shut down a lot of run, but still was good in those 2 innings. Goss, he struggled for them. They went to Marquez to pitch 3 innings. I'm guessing their bullpens are probably a little thin at this point because they've had to use a lot of those guys recently. And then McClanahan, he pitched an inning. So yeah, they gave Marquez 3 innings. He really didn't get too much damage against him, but he did walk a bunch of guys. So, that probably made things interesting for them. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the next game. And, of course, their backs are against the wall and on the LCS. We're up 3-2. These 2 games are going to be home games for them. So they do, maybe have a home advantage there. And here it looks like we're heading to Game 7, the NLCS with the Dodgers and Cardinals. So that's an interesting series there. I don't really know a lot about those teams, so we're definitely going to have to see that after that series. But go ahead and sim this one. And we do lose 3-4, so we're now going to a Game 7 in the ALCS. In the top of the ninth, looks like Walker grounded out with some probably some runners on base. That kind of affected the win-loss predictability projections there. Not a lot doing from us. Really, we're at a string and he hits together. Run got bumped down in the lineup, and he hit 2 home runs today. Wow, that's crazy. 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 9th. So he was trying to get us back in this game. He was trying to get us back in this game, but we just could not get the win. So yeah, I assume that's why Walker's win probability ground out was in there. Paolini, he was pretty good. He got on base a bunch for us today, 3 times. And definitely going to take that. But again, not a lot of good performances out of the middle lineup. But they had a lefty, so Jordan played for us at first base. They went with the opener again, and Linares was much better, kind of as the follower. 5 Ks, 3 hits, no runs in 3 and 2/3 innings. And then kind of their mixed bag bullpen came in and ate some innings for them and was pretty decent. I'm allowing some runs, but they bended but did not break. Wentz, he was decent for us. 3 runs earned in 5 1/3 innings. I'll take that from him every time. And then Bustelos, he just allowed 1 run, which is a homer, in his 2 innings of work. Then Jimenez came in and shut down. But again, that run from Bustelos, maybe Wentz allows a run fewer, but we just weren't able to get this done. Now in Game 7, we're going to go ahead and see what happens. I wonder who's going to be mounted for us. Hopefully it's Mackenzie Gore. It is, although he's been kind of hit around in the playoffs a little bit. So it says he's been hot. It says he's hot, which is good. That bodes well for us, but not been the greatest in this kind of postseason. So definitely going to be kind of interesting to see what happens out there. But nevertheless, Game 7, let's go. And we win Game 7. As you can see, 3-1 win. So we're going to be going into the World Series against the Cardinals. So we'll see that in a second. But, we scored a run in the 7th. Didn't really look back. Berets got a run in the 1st. And after that, not doing anything. Tyler Freeman, solo home run in the 7th. And that was what put us over the top. Hernandez looks like he didn't do a double play with of course, a runner on. So, that kind of killed a little bit of a rally for them, it looks like. Paolini run-scoring single and Siegler run-scoring single. So Paolini, very good to see that he's kind of coming around that. Those stats not good since he was so bad in the beginning of the playoffs. But now he's been good, especially getting on for us in the playoffs recently. Freeman doing his job as the leadoff guy, just getting on with 3 hits. And then, Siegler hit a run in. Freeman got a run in. Good stuff there. Pitching-wise, Gore gave us an absolute gem. 7 innings of 1-run ball, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. And then, of course, when we have 7 innings, pitch first start, all we need is Montoya and Jimenez, who are pretty shut down, especially Jimenez. So they got the job done for us. Ryan, he was good in his own right, 2 runs, allowed in 5 innings. And then, that man bullpen, they've been throwing kind of the same guys out there pretty much all the time. McClanahan, he's been out there a lot as an opener. I think he opened the last game and then kind of pitched an inning here. He bended there. We got a run across against him. Their bullpen, their pitching in general is kind of thin at this point. And we were able to kind of wear them down over the course of the series, kind of wearing their starters down, forcing them to use a lot of those guys in their bullpen. So, yeah, we go ahead and we win that game. So now we're in the World Series for the first time in this series. Now, playing St. Louis in the World Series, we're going to go ahead and look at their team and see kind of how they were. They won 98 games. A lot of the teams in the National League were kind of up there. I believe the Dodgers won 99 and were the best team. I know it was actually the Rockies. But again, a lot of teams hovering around the high 90s, low 100s win mark. So a lot of teams pretty similar. The Cardinals narrowly defeated the Cubs for their division. And now, it looks like they already have a big injury that I see. Yeah, Jack Flaherty, well, he's actually not, he had a very good season, but he's not, an elite pitcher in this league, it looks like. But they're missing 2 starters, Elledge, Flaherty, and they're also missing Alcs Reyes, though that looks kind of like a long-term injury. He went down very beginning of the season. So, it looks like 3 starters for them out. And then Harrison Bader, and their starting center fielder, he's also down. So, again, another team that's banged up, and we're not very banged up, which, has bode very well for us in this playoffs that we've actually managed to stay healthy going into the playoffs. We actually haven't had too many injury troubles in this series, at least, pitching-wise we did in previous years. A lot of our young prospects' careers kind of got demolished by them, but now we're relatively healthy now. Phil Rice looks like a nice little shortstop for them. Not good eye, but got on a lot this year. Very good offensive season for him. Definitely want to expect that in the future, but for now, very good season from him. Dominguez, defense first center fielder, looks like, who's batting second. Not the best lineup optimization for them. Carlson, who's a great bat for them. Kendrick, another guy who kind of meh bat for them. Ryan Mountcastle, he had a good season for them. Chris Bryant, kind of 35-year-old Chris Bryant, still being pretty good for Seattle. Tetsudo Yamada, not a fantastic season for them. And then Ian Moeller, actually, a stud catcher. Looks like a very good offensive season for them. So their offense looks pretty good. Kind of a mixed bag. Don't really understand why Dominguez is batting second. Moeller is batting 8th for them. That kind of doesn't make any sense. So maybe we could take advantage of their lineup mismanagement. Maybe a lot of the Reds only won 45 games. I'm just seeing that now. That's wild. So kind of their starting rotation, minus Flaherty, their best pitcher looks like. Liberatore maybe the better seasons, especially recently. But Flaherty's their highest rated starter. And then Hagnow, he looks like a pretty good starter. Anglin, and then Krismat. So 3 solid starters. Krismat maybe not as good. So that's kind of interesting there. So maybe we could take advantage of him. But, I feel like their starting pitching is fine. So injuries maybe not the most affecting them. And then Whitley. It looks like their bullpen is not very good. It looks like they're not highly rated, but they had some good seasons. So maybe we could kind of take advantage of their guys, maybe not being the most highly rated. Maybe, they got lucky in the regular season with some BABIP luck or something. And, hopefully that runs out in the World Series for them. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the games. Game 1, we lose a heartbreaker, looks like 1-2. We scored in the 8th to get our only run of the game. That was a solo home run by Bowser, actually. Interesting that he got some action today. He actually pinch hit, because we're playing at St. Louis to start this series. That's right, because they have home field in this game because they have a better record. So Bowser, pinch hit home run, was our only run, so that's kind of cool to see. Kind of that National League thing. And he went in and played some shortstop for us. It looks like Freeman Malia. Some National League baseball definitely right there. Some kind of moving guys around. Wow, we won an offensive outpouring in game 2. Cardinals really got some runs early on us, and then we beat them up at the end. And Wozniak only gave us 2 innings. Man, he has maybe definitely been a disappointment for us. Bustelos Garcia, he got really rocked. Didn't even get an out before they got 3 runs. Robson, he pitched 2 scoreless innings for us. Wow, what a game for him. And Hagnow, he got hurt. And that's actually big for them. I guarantee they don't have good pitching depth kind of after their starters. Armentos, we beat him up. We beat up their bullpen a lot. Again, I talked about that bullpen, maybe not being that good or not as good as, they actually had a season. But, we beat them up. So, let's see what we can do in game 3. And in game 3, we win 6-4. Huge 4 spot for us in the 8th inning. Basabe hit a bases clearing triple in that inning, which is crazy. Rutten hit a 2-run single. Yamada had a 3-run homer. And that's pretty much all of their runs. All of their runs came in the 4th, actually. Looking here, Freeman and Happ have been good at the top of the lineup in the playoffs. Paolini, he's really come on after struggling in the first series. Walker's still MIA. He's been nowhere to be found this season or in the playoffs. He's really struggled this year. Rutten, he's been good in the playoffs. He continues to be our leading home run hitter in the playoffs. Wow there. And Bogarts at DH doing some stuff. Basabe, he hasn't done anything this playoffs except for that bases clearing triple. So there, Mackenzie Gore wasn't particularly good for us. He got hit around in that 4th inning, which ended up being his last. But our bullpen was shut down. Aglin, he was very good for them. 2 runs in 6 of the 3rd. And then Whitley, and then Cruson, or however you say it, we rocked him again. And he's their best rated reliever. So we're rocking their best rated reliever. It doesn't bode well for them. And then Whitley, we rocked him, who's their closer. So yeah, we're definitely rocking their bullpen in this series. And then we win another game. So we take 2, kind of a 2-1 lead here. At least I believe it's a 2-1 lead. We'll look at that after this game. We came on early at the 3 spot in the 3rd and then hung on. Siegler, 2-run homer. Paolini hit a solo shot. So those 3 of our runs. Paolini was very good in this game, man. He is kind of running up the kind of performance after struggling that first series. Then Siegler, he's been good all playoffs. Or come up big for us all playoffs. I should say. Krismat, he had a very, actually not a great performance. Gave them a long start, which they really needed that. Their bullpen just blew up a million times. Cruson actually didn't blow up and didn't even allow a run. But by that time, it was too late because they didn't have the lead. Wentz, very good 6 2/3 innings for us. 2-run ball. Again, I'll take that from him every single time. Great start from him. Montoya shut down 2 innings. Garcia came in. He got a 3rd of inning after Wentz came out. So shut down stuff from us. Now I'm going to move on to the next game. And we lose. So I believe it's 2-2. Again, we'll check that after this game, and I'll actually check it. Cardinals. Okay, I don't know why that. Oh no, it's 3-2. I don't know, whatever got messed up there. But yeah, we lose this one 6-5. And no runs were scored after the 6th inning, so no walk-off kind of drama or whatever. Paolini, again, continues to be monster for us. Looks like he hit another homer. This game he hit his 5th. Basabe, he hit 1. So that's good there. Nothing doing from the bottom of our lineup that time. Walker actually gets a hit in the meat of our lineup. 4 or 5, 6 or something. Not really the meat of it. Paolini's 3rd, and that kind of annoys me. The 3 spot definitely isn't the most important spot in your lineup, but it ended up working out that time. Rocker only gave us 3 1/3 innings. He was not good. But Bustelos Robson, he's actually been good in this series for us, unlike the previous series where he got rocked. He's been very key for us here. Very key. Gave us 3 innings for God's sakes in this one. Jimenez gave us a shutdown inning. So yeah, Robson is definitely, I dub him player of the game, 1B, with Paolini being player of the game. Liberatore, he was He got hit around a bit in 5 2/3. Blackwood, Whitley. Can't believe we lost this game. But nevertheless, getting in here, and we win the game 2-0, and we win the World Series. Wow. I actually can't believe this. This is, of course, I won the World Series, and kind of a series where I'm not even live playing it. But yeah, we win the World Series 2-0 in this game. Score a run in the 7th and the 8th. Happened a run scoring single in the 8th. And Mondesi, did he hit a sac fly? No, he didn't. How did we get the other run? We got it from, who had the other RBI? Basabe. Not quite sure how that run came across, but it wasn't the kind of second run of the game. But we win in the World Series in a pitcher's duel. Armentos, what the heck? I'm pretty sure he came out of the bullpen the entire season for them. He made one start for them the regular season, and he was who they had to go with because of the Haygrove or whatever guy getting injured, and he went 8 2/3 of 2-run balls. So he pitched an absolute gem for them. Pitched his heart. A 33-year-old journeyman kind of definitely pitched his heart out in this game 7, and they didn't even win. Then Cruson, he pitched a third of an inning, and he didn't get rocked in that third of an inning, so good job him kind of settling down at the end of the series. Loizaga gave us 5 innings of no-run ball. He pitched an absolute gem. It's funny because after, looking at kind of his contract being kind of, long contract within the 10 millions, I immediately thought of him as Eovaldi. Thought about Eovaldi and the Red Sox, with him, and kind of this World Series performance definitely even makes me think of him even more. Loizaga might not be able to be a starter for much longer. But he definitely could be a shutdown reliever, I think, which is kind of crazy, like Eovaldi was for the Red Sox. So Garcia, our bullpen was shut down this entire series, and Loizaga, was good for us as well. So we're World Series champions after that one. World Series champions. See if we have any kind of mail news here. No. I definitely want to see kind of our awards though. I wonder how I can see that. Alright, so kind of looking at the award winners for us in the postseason. In the division series, Xander Bogaerts was the MVP, and he 368 with a 400 on base, home run and an RBI. He scored 5 runs though, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, he was getting on against lefties, I guess, when he was on that second spot, and then he was getting hit in. Or no, actually, that's not even true, because I know the bottom of the lineup did damage. So he definitely did it when he was like batting 6th or 5th or whatever he was. So he wins the American League Division Series MVP for us, and for the what's it called? The ALCS, Joseph Rutten wins, and he definitely deserves it. He had 391, 464, 3 home runs, 4 runs, and drove in 4 and scored 5. So yeah, he was the championship series MVP, and he definitely deserved it. He was actually very good for us in that series. He carried our offense a lot, actually, until Paolini came on really strong. And I would bet that he was the MVP for us in the World Series, but I'm not sure. And it was, he was the World Series MVP. He was actually the Division Series MVP in 2023. But yeah, he was he is your 2027 World Series MVP, which he was monstrous for us. He really struggled in that first. And you can even see his postseason stats here. Kind of in the last few games, last 4 games of the series. Last 3 games. Here he was 259, 328, 397 slash line, and then once we got down to the nitty gritty, in those last 3 games, he came on strong. 2 home runs here, a home run in that game. His OPS skyrocketed. His performance in that World Series was extremely good for us down the stretch when we really needed it. So he's your World Series MVP, and that's going to do it for this episode. Then here it is, actually the Hage now out 10 months. So that's why Armentos had to make that game 7 start for them. He would have been the guy there. And, he's a good young arm for them, it looks like. So they're definitely missing him. They'll be missing him next season because he's out for 10 months with elbow reconstruction surgery. So the prospects are your World Series champions. And that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Definitely let me know again if you like this format better than what I was doing before. Again, I'm kind of handicapped by my computer, but again, definitely let me know. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.